If you're a first-time freelancer, you're probably confused about what service to offer to clients and who to offer that service to. So in this video, I'm gonna break down to you my framework for how I think about finding a niche for my freelance business. And if you haven't met yet, my name is Alif. I run an email marketing business here in Toronto, and last month I made over $7,000 in revenue from my freelancing business. To give you context, when I started my business journey, I was actually providing career coaching services to job seekers, and I was helping people write their resumes, optimize their LinkedIn profile, or teach them how to get jobs. And so I was a career coach helping job seekers. And then from there, I pivoted into providing marketing services for other career coaches. And then from there, I pivoted into providing marketing services for software businesses. And then from there, I pivoted into providing email marketing services to software businesses. And now I'm at the point where I have a sustainable full-time income through my freelancing business. I've gone through a lot of niche pivots, I guess you can say, over the years. And through that journey, I learned a lot about how to pick a niche. And so I don't want you to have to go through that entire journey yourself. And so in this video, I'm gonna walk you through how I now think about picking a niche for a freelance business, knowing what I know now. All right, so number one is this. Let's say you're thinking of starting a freelance business, and maybe right now you're working a full-time job and like you're kind of done with the full-time job life and you want to start your own thing, or maybe you got let go from a job and now you're thinking of doing a full-time freelance business or just a side business to help you supplement your income, whatever it may be. Number one is this. If you want to figure out what niche you want to help and what service to offer, just do what you're doing or you did in your full-time job, but on a freelance basis, right? So for example, I was working full-time as a marketing coordinator or an entry-level marketing role, and I was doing like podcasts, social media, email marketing, websites, SEO, and all this stuff in my entry-level role at a startup. And then eventually COVID came and I got fired, right? I got laid off. And so I had an epiphany. I'm like, wait a minute, all these marketing things I was doing for my company, don't other small business owners need them as well? And so I reached out to all my friends and colleagues who I knew generally ran a business, and I asked them, hey, do you need like marketing services? Like I have this skill, this skill, this skill, this skill that I learned from my job. Would it help if I did that for you? And they're like, oh my God, yes, oh my God, yes, oh my God, yes. And right away, within that month, like I booked a number of clients. Again, just doing what I'm already doing, but this time instead of for the full-time job, I'm doing it for other small business owners. But let's say you're working in human resource and you haven't built a marketing skill set and you want to offer marketing as a service, so that wouldn't really apply to you. So here's some other things to consider. Number two is ask yourself, this niche that I'm trying to help, do they make money? Because you see, when I was a career coach and I would help job seekers land jobs, it was fun because, you know, you're coaching, you're teaching people, and they're like, you're like changing their lives, and they tell you, oh my God, you really helped me, and it makes you so fulfilled and good inside. But the truth is that when it came to asking them for money, it was hard. I remember one time after work, I was trying to build this career coaching side hustle business. I went to a university cafeteria. It was at night. I was alone in the cafeteria, and I had like 5 sales calls that day. And so I would take sales call number 1. I'd be like, hey, so this is like $100, right? Very cheap. I'm like, it's $100. Are you in? And they're like, no, I'll think about it. I'm like, oh my gosh. Call number 2 came in. Hey, this is about $100. Are you in? No, I'm not in. Oh my gosh. Call number 3 came in. Hey, this is $100. Are you in? And they're like, yeah, I'll think about it. And no one bought from me. And I was like, why? Like, it's so cheap. And what I'm offering in this coaching program I put together will help them get a job. So why is it not working, right? Fast forward to now, I realize when you're picking a niche, you want to make sure they actually have money. Because in my case, I was helping job seekers who didn't have money. They were trying to look for a job to get money. And so it didn't make sense for me to help them because they didn't have money. I mean, you can do the free stuff for free all the time, but you gotta pay your bills at the end, right? It was so hard convincing a job seeker to give me $100, but it's so much easier convincing a marketer working at a software company to pay me $2,000. Like, it's so much easier literally going on sales calls with marketing directors and being like, hey, this is $2,000. How does it sound? And they're like, yeah, whatever. I literally remember I was speaking with a CMO of a company, and then I was telling him like what I'll do for him, and then he asked me how much, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna cost about like $2,500. And I was like, oh God, like $2,500, oh God, right? But then I was so surprised at his reaction because he's like, yeah, that's fine, just send the bill to finance or something, whatever. And then he went on to like talk about the project and everything. It was just like a throwaway remark for him. It was like nothing. But yet when I spoke with a job seeker and I was like, hey, it's $100, are you in? And they're like, no, well, let me think about it, blah, 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 right? And I realized the biggest difference was like the person that I was helping. Like, it's so much easier speaking with marketers and more profitable, and life is easier when I help marketers compared to helping job seekers. So when you're selecting your niche that you want to help, ask yourself, do they have money? All right, number 3, this is gonna be interesting, okay? If the niche you're thinking of helping sounds fun, then chances are it's not a profitable niche. So here's the thing, I was on a call with a YouTube subscriber and they're like, hey, what do you think about this niche that I'm thinking of helping? And I was like, yeah, so what's the niche? And they're like, I was thinking of doing copywriting, but for poets. And I was like trying to like bear myself, like, how do I not make this sound really bad? You know, how do I like tell her no? And it just really hit me. Like if you think about it, like poets, yeah, sure, it sounds fun helping poets because they're so artsy and so cool. But how many poets do you know that have money to spend? Like, can they easily drop like $2,000, you know, on you or something? Like, I guess if they're working full-time job, but like still at that point, I don't think poets make a lot of money. So it wouldn't make sense for you to service them because they don't have money to spend. But it still sounds fun, right? Or like if you want to help like rappers with their websites, you know, I don't know a lot of rappers making a lot of money unless you're like the top 1%. And so yeah, helping rappers sounds really cool, but chances are like they don't have money. It's not going to be a profitable niche. But you know what are profitable niches though? Doctor offices, marketing reporting technology companies, cybersecurity firms, real estate brokerages. Those are where the money is at. So if you're trying to select a niche, generally, the more boring it sounds, the more profitable it is. And that's one thing I've been realizing. So, I mean, think about it, like real estate brokerages, cybersecurity firms, that sounds so boring. But at the same time, that's where the money is, right? By the way, if you are enjoying this video, be sure to check out my free marketing courses and how to start your own freelance business courses down below in the description of this video. They're free. Feel free to check them out. Back to the video. All right, so this next point is something that might contradict, I forgot the word, but contradict my last point. So first, this industry that you're thinking of helping, are you somewhat interested in it? You know, it's not going to be like 100% you're fully interested in it, but at the same time, you can't be so bored out of your mind that it's so hard to work, right? So for me, I'm in software, and in software, it's really cool to learn about tech, and it's also cool to work with other tech leaders because they're young, they're cool, they're ambitious, they have big goals and dreams, and it's just really fun talking to them. And so I knew that tech for me, helping software businesses, was the niche that I wanted to focus on. So when you're picking your niche, you want to make sure you're at least somewhat interested, because if you're just working all the time on a niche that you're bored out of your mind, the chances of you actually pulling through with the work and dealing with the monotonous days where you don't want to work, that's going to be really hard for you. So you might as well pick something that you have some interest in. Now that we talked about how to figure out who to help, now let's talk about what service to offer and how do I know what service to offer to clients. To explain that, I need to tell you how I started figuring out what service to offer. So for me, I used to offer career coaching and everything. Then I switched over to marketing because I realized like, oh, I didn't want to be a career coach anymore, and it wasn't really fun talking to job seekers and getting them to land jobs and everything. But I did like the marketing side of the career coaching business, and I love building funnels, email campaigns, social media content. Like that was really fun for me. The actual career coaching stuff was very monotonous for me, and I didn't even like the niche that I was helping, in this case, job seekers. And so I decided, wait a minute, if don't other career coaches need marketing services? And so because I built a career coaching business, I did a lot of collaborations, with other content creators in the job search space. And so I reached out to them and I'm like, hey, Joanna, like, I know you're a career coach. Um, I'm not offering any more career coaching services, but instead I'm offering marketing services to other career coaches. Do you need my help with anything related to marketing? And they're like, oh my God, yes, yes, it's perfect because careers, and on top of that, marketing. So it's perfect. You know my industry well, and you have the skill set. So like, come in, come in, come in. And I landed so many referrals just from that. But it's interesting because helping job seekers was not really profitable, but helping other career coaches, so instead of B2C, it became B2B, so helping other career coaches versus job seekers. When I started helping other career coaches, then I started making way more money because they're businesses, and talking to businesses, money isn't like a taboo topic because they know what it's like to negotiate prices and everything, right? They're expecting a higher price tag. Whereas job seekers, they're expecting like $50 max, like that's it. Anyways, I started helping career coaches with their marketing. Now, here's the thing. I was offering anything and everything under the marketing belt. So that meant podcasts, YouTube, email, social media, anything I can get my hands on to help me make money, because at that point, I needed to make money. So I offered anything under marketing. And as I took on more clients and clients and clients, I noticed a couple of things. I noticed, I don't really like editing YouTube videos for other people. I'll edit my videos, like this one, but editing other people's videos is really monotonous. And I started hating editing podcasts because it was like boring, monotone audio, and you had to cut out the ums and the ands and the weird silences, and it was just so tedious. And social media, don't even get me started on social media. That's just endless content. You have to always think about new stuff. Stop. But for some reason, I really liked email. There's something about writing a nice, crisp email with the best copywriting principles, and it's just really fun writing emails. And I realized, like, I've been hearing this advice about niching down and offering one service, and I was like, I think I found it. I think email is the service that I want to provide. So I became very focused on email marketing, and at some point, I started getting tired of helping other career coaches, because oftentimes these career coaches, yes, there are other businesses, but these career coaches, they treated their business sometimes like a side hustle, or very rarely were they actually very profitable. They'd have like 250,000 LinkedIn connections, but when you actually talk to them, they only made like $200 last month. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the reality of what it's like. And oftentimes when I'm working with other career coaches, they didn't really know marketing, so I had to like teach them the basics of marketing. What's interesting is, as I started helping career coaches, I started landing software businesses as clients. And so my plate was filled with career coaches and software businesses. And I realized, like, speaking with other marketing managers who generally knew marketing, I had to explain myself less. It was such an easier workflow. And oftentimes these marketers, because they worked at the companies, they weren't spending their own money out of pocket. Whereas career coaches, they were spending their own money out of their own pocket to fund their own business. But the marketer who's working at the company, they're spending the company's money. So they don't care about spending, right? And so talking to them about money was so much easier than talking to the career coaches. Plus, it helped that like they already knew marketing, and they were generally young and fun and less stressful. And so I decided, yeah, software businesses are the thing, and email is the specific service that I want to start offering. So for you, if you're trying to figure out what service to offer and you don't know what to do, just, it's gonna sound weird, but offer what you can offer and anything and everything, because chances are you'll do anything and everything as long as it's under marketing, and I'm assuming you're offering marketing services or whatever you have in mind right now. Just offer anything and everything you have in your mind right now. And later on, you'll start realizing, oh, wait, I don't like offering this as a service. Oh, wait, I don't like working with these type of clients. Oh, when I work on this, I don't like this and this. And you start learning a lot more about yourself and the services you provide. So then later on in your business, you can start tailoring your service a little more based on everything you've been learning. So for me, again, I went from everything marketing to email, and all because of the experience I've built offering these services and the time I spent delivering these services. I started learning email is the way to go. The same thing will probably happen to you. So if you don't know what service to offer, just offer anything you have expertise in and you feel like you're good at. Later on, you can start specializing. All right, there you go. How to figure out what service and niche to help. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more content like this. And I will see you, my friend, in the next video. Peace, peace, peace.